What's going on, NuCanoe Nation? Welcome back. We got Fletch in the house here. Let me get this logo off the screen for you guys. We are going to get the walkthrough of Fletch's build here at ICast 2022. We just went through Romel's build about an hour and a half ago. These guys built two incredibly awesome boats. We also got Mikey from Westbrook here too, which was a huge part of the team in this build. So these guys are both going to kind of walk you through on what they did, how they did it, and why they did it. So it's definitely a cool build, guys, and super stoked to show this to you. I know we did the walkthrough yesterday. If you guys haven't gone and voted yet, you can go vote on the NuCanoe Instagram or Facebook stories, or the video we posted on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to calculate those totals up. Our guy Brian Connolly stepped out of the booth to go get some things. So what we'll do is we'll come back a little later with that final result, and we'll get Romel and Fletch together for that and kind of get the reactions and thoughts on it and stuff like that. So without further ado, Fletch, why don't you lead us off? We're going to start bow to stern. And this XI3 setup is pretty slick. I have never seen it, and what these guys did is pretty cool. So, Fletch, why don't you tell us about the whole setup at the front here?
Okay. You want me to take that? Am I just grabbing this? Okay. All right. So we've got the MotorGuide XI3 with the pinpoint GPS, which is, NuCanoe has done a really great job of making this a very easy thing to install. One of the unique things we've done is we've integrated this product called Power Pucks down here. So if you'll notice the motor, there's no cables dangling. There's no plugs to plug in. Mikey, if you'll demonstrate. So you're able to stow and deploy, and then that puck comes out, and the plug is actually integrated into the puck on this, which is a really cool setup. Makes for a really clean install. Makes for a really easy on and off. And as soon as you slide it back in there, you can see the lights are on. It's powered. It's ready to go. So a really slick product there from Power Pucks. So with your standard XI3 here, you've got your remote control. So you've got that anchor lock capability, that GPS function. If you're running Lowered's electronics, you can integrate that with your motor. And then it basically turns your kayak into a Tesla with that autopilot function. So that was pretty cool there. Moving back from there, we've got the gear pod, and we've integrated a waterproof stereo system with Bluetooth functionality. Totally not necessary. That doesn't help you catch fish at all, but it was fun to do. It looks cool, and if the fish aren't biting, at least you can listen to some good tunes. But, it just shows the versatility of this pod. I've seen people turn this into a cooler. You can use it for tackle storage. Just talked to a guy that showed us a mobile air conditioning unit that you can put in this thing to put a water mist sprayer. I'm definitely going to go take a look at that because that sounds amazing right now. But so it just shows you the versatility of this. And what's cool with this, if you'll hold up, completely removable, right? At the end of the day, all your gear is just going to pop right out. So put it in there when you need it, when you don't. So moving back from that, obviously we've got the full complete deck pad kit on here from NuCanoe, which really finishes this thing out, makes it look really sharp. We've also got some Yak Tack accessories attached to these top loading aluminum rails, things for your camera mounts, cup holders, flags, visibility poles, fish, rod holders, whatever you need. And then going to the other side here, working with Yak Gadget to get some accessories made for this. I'm going to Quick Track. Yes, I am always messing up the name of this, but Yak Gadget Quick Track. So it allows you to have some tool organization. Again, another cup holder, some extra bit of rail to mount this nice Lowered's head unit here. And we've used these integrated rigging panels here to have a quick disconnect for the power on the fish finder. And we've used this available space back here to bury the transducer cable, which allows you to keep this nice and clean. You don't have a lot of cable to deal with and all of that. And then moving down, you've got your Yak Power control unit here. So all of our accessories are available at the touch of a button here. This is the 8 8-switch hub. They also make a 5-switch hub. We plugged a lot of things into this, so we went with the 8-switch. And you can see we're using that to access these LED lights. So we've got interior lighting, we've got navigational lighting, we've got power ports, and then that's also powering the other rigging panel over here where we've got a battery meter so we can keep an eye on the battery life on our Amped Outdoors batteries that we're using to power this. So that's nice to have at a heads-up glance. A couple of waterproof USBs, which are very nice to have in case you want to charge your phone, charge your camera on the water. So again, right next to the seat, easily accessible. And then my favorite thing on this whole boat, which was probably the cheapest thing on this whole boat, is this little button right here. Right? That's your boat horn for your kayak. We've all been there out on the water, and, you know, guys, they just sometimes they don't see you, you know, and you want to make your presence known. That's the way to do it. So the standard Millennium NuCanoe seat, a great seat, but there's always room for improvement. We've done that with the kayak cushion here. Add that to your seat. It's an easy upgrade, and it'll allow you to be on the water for a long day and not feel bad about it when you get out. So moving back from that, I'm going to hand this over to Mikey. He's going to take you from the back side of the boat here.
Well, I appreciate it, Fletch, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. And but yes, we topped it off with a Boondocks landing gear on top of the NuCanoe Unlimited bracket, Boondocks bracket, and then of course we ran the Yak Attack products on those as well, which they have the T-bolt, you know, the T rails there, which Boondocks come with the nice C-tug wheels as well. And then going to the back here, our friend John Thomas at Yak Gadget gracefully built us a nice box here. It's called the Beast. We called it the Beast because it can pretty much fit 4 3700 Plano boxes in there, along with the 100 amp battery and whatever 19 or, you know, bigger batteries that you have in the back as well, which we also integrated the, you know, pretty much the power port into the back with the 100 amp battery to plug it up to a 70 amp Marinko plug to power the trolling motor in the back. Along with that, you know, to end it, of course, we use the foot steer from NuCanoe as well, which that retracts pretty well. Can you retract that for me, Fletch? And we added this eye loop here, so when you actually retract it, it actually steered clear out of your way of the wires, your black pack, and it kind of just slants in and contours with the side of the kayak as well. But other than that, this is our build. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it with the tedious works of the wiring. But yeah, thank you, Fletch, for letting me help out and do this build with you. But in the meantime, this is our build from Westbrook Supply Company, and hope y'all enjoy it.
So real quick, guys, like, obviously you guys put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. Like, what are some of the features that, like, you guys mainly use in your area of the country that, you know, this is why I rigged this up this way, you know, like, what are some of those key features? And I talked about this earlier, I think with Romel, like, you talk about custom kayak riggers, right, and the two names that come up is Fletch and Romel, right? So, like, you guys deal with this stuff all the time. So, like, from a customer standpoint, what are the things that, like, you guys do the most and why people want those?
Well, I'll start off. The Yak Power system is actually one of the most plug-and-play systems because, one, you're running electronics, you might run lights. You know, if you're running motor, the quick plug-and-play system is always beneficial to the customer because now all you got to do is plug it up to the battery. Now you have different ports to plug it, and now you have the buttons to, you know, at the ease of your fingers. Yeah. So versus having to unplug and plug and turn around the kayak and plug and unplug, you know, you have that Yak Power system to actually really make everything easy. You know, just for all your powering needs like fish finder and lighting and stuff like that. So.
And is that the Bluetooth compatible one too?
Yes. You can actually download an app on your phone and actually use your phone and actually download into that too. So yeah, the technology's there. So we utilize that for simplicity. So
right on. Did you have something to add to that?
Oh yeah, I mean, the Yak Power to quickly add an integrated power system or wiring system to a boat. There's really none better. I mean, a lot of this stuff we kind of went over the top a little bit, but you know, a lot of this stuff we've done probably individually, all of these things on individual customers' boats. This is kind of the culmination of, like, let's throw everything at it, you know, sure. Like, this is probably more than than one person would want all at once. But this is just kind of shows what's possible, and how easy it is to do this and how clean it can come out. But all of this stuff is very functional. As fun as the horn is, that's a very functional thing. The USB plug's very functional. Being able to keep an eye on your battery. It's for us. It was about functionality, and the average guy in his garage with a standard tool set could replicate just about any of this. So. But yeah, that's and in terms of location specific, the XI3 with that GPS pinpoint, that is we've done a ton of those for our local lakes and rivers. It's a great setup. So
for sure. No, it's super cool, and I'm sure this is going to come up in the comments as a question. And I know we're doing a Q&A on Friday, but everybody's going to ask, where do I get a horn like that? So where did you get the horn? What style horn is it? Because everybody's been ranting and raving about it.
It's a bog standard marine boat horn from Amazon. Nothing fancy. I had to do a little trimming to be able to mount it under that plate and bury it in the front. But, it's like a $10, $12 item, but it works great. So
it does. Everybody's been coming by pushing the horn, so it's super cool. It's something different, man. It's unique. I remember when you hooked it up and I heard it for the first time, I was like, what the hell is that? So it's super cool, man. I love the build. So guys, gals, go ahead, keep voting both on the Instagram and the NuCanoe Instagram pages. You could vote, drop your vote in the bottom of this chat, any of the other video chats. We're going to tally them up. We'll come back live before the show ends here tonight. Show ends at 6 p.m., so it'll probably be around 5. But we got to get our main guy that's in charge of that back here so he can tally those up. Because otherwise I'm going to have to take off my shoes and use my toes and all my fingers, and then we're going to have to add up Fletchy's and Mike's, toes and fingers. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to scare people away from the booth. So, guys, gals, thank you so much for tuning in all day long. We've had so much content. Huge thanks to Westbrook Supply. Both of you guys, man, it's super cool to have you guys do a custom build for us and have it in the booth. Same with Romel. We told him the same thing, man. So we appreciate you guys. We will be back a little bit later with the results. Wish I had them for you now, but it'll be cool to see how it ends up. It's been like, I know last night we were watching it, and it was like all the Westbrook guys were voting right away. They were on top of that. Then we had that, West Coast where Romel's from. They're 2 hours behind. So then in the night they came up, and it was even. Romel was a little in the lead this morning. Then Fletch jumped in the lead. So they've been going back and forth. So it's cool. It's not really a competitive thing. It's just for fun. But, these guys definitely appreciate the support. If you guys are from the Georgia area, go down, visit Westbrook Supply, stop into the shop, see Fletch, see Mike, if you need an accessory, whatever, man, it goes a long way for some of these shops, so support local, support your kayak shops, guys, because they're the ones that help this sport grow. So we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you here shortly.